Good morning. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record Journal, alongside my man, the man for Record Journal Hockey, Mr. Joe Boyle. Joe, I'm very happy to have you on here to introduce the All Record Journal team.
Brian, thanks for having me. It's first time, long time. Big fan of the show. Always watch it when you guys drop it. So I'm happy to finally be able to get my debut in.
I know, and I'm sorry I didn't get you the fashion memo about shaving, but that's okay. It looks good on you, Joe.
You guys told me about this like yesterday, and I should have shaved before I came, so I should have prepared. I didn't.
We had a lot of good players out there. I know Joe had a hard time picking this year's team, and we've got the guys we feel are the best in the area. If we had to suit up six, these would be our six. We're going to bring them to you now. Leading off, up front, we're going to go with our forwards first, and we're going to go with a man who led the area in scoring. He is junior from the Lyman Hall Co-op, Mr. Kyle Roberts. And Joe, fill me in on Mr. Kyle.
Well, you I think know more about Kyle than you let on, because we've been fighting for him all year. A Coggins kid, 34 goals, 36 assists, 70 points. Might be one of the only Coggins kids we ever put on this list, and it's hard to ignore him with those stats. The kid knows where to be on the ice at all times, obviously from his points. Obviously, another teammate of his is going to be on the list that they feed off of each other really well. But offensive-minded Kyle Roberts keeps the offense going and really keeps these forwards going.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyle Roberts, area scoring leader, 70 points in 22 games. You can do some quick division and see how many points.
Actually, 21, too. So
he
missed a game this year, too. So he played less than a game than almost every other kid in the area. And he had double the points of a lot of the kids.
And you also kind of gave away our pick number two.
I didn't give him away. I didn't say a name. I let you have that one.
All right, let's bring him out. He is senior captain, the heart and soul of the Lyman Hall Trojans, Mr. Scott Bradley.
Yeah, so Kyle and Scott combined for 130 points this year. Scott had 29 goals and 31 assists. Again, a kid that knows where to be on the ice at the right time. He's a big guy, picking up a rebound, puts in the himself. Works well with Kyle, works well with all those other wingers like Matt Pettit and TJ Arduini. That whole offensive core really feeds off of how Kyle and Scott play. We saw it against BBD in the first round of the SEC. Kyle and Scott didn't have their best game. None of that offense could really click. So those two, when they're on, that whole team is on.
We've never had a freshman all-record journal. Pete, in all our time, have we had a freshman all-record journal? I think this gentleman is the first. From SHEEHAN High School, Joe Romano.
Joey Romano, 28 goals, 20 assists for 48 points, and those are freshman stats. We've never had a freshman do that good in hockey since 2006. I'd go on record and saying, I mean, no freshman has been able to put up that amount of points from the get-go. Day one, he was there contributing. His brother Anthony fed him a lot of the times, and that's a guy that just missed the list. But both those two, I guess we can talk about Joe specifically. Offensive-minded again, a boatload of points, a kid that could foreseeably go off to play prep hockey once his time at Sheehan's over. Again, just offensive-minded. We have a huge amount of points between those three guys. We're going to be a heavy-scoring team all our time.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to our blue line. We got two good blue liners, guys who play good defense, and also, Joe, as you'll discuss, guys who can really spearhead the offense, too, starting with this boy from SHEEHAN High School, Nick Gonsalves.
Yeah, Nick, 12 goals, 13 assists, 25 points. And the last half of his season, he's playing with a broken finger. He's contributing to that offense. That SHEEHAN team had so much heart, and it flowed through those captains, Alex Ficcarelli and Nick Gonsalves. Nick, from the blue line, led an awesome breakout, was the guy from the beginning to end of the play, always had his hand in the play. And then just defensively, that team had to block shots in front of injured Tyler Robertson at times.
And our other defenseman on the All-Record Journal hockey team for 2017-18 is from Cheshire, junior James ILNICKI.
James, 9 goals, 3 assists, 12 points, and James is a special breed of player. I like to look at him. He's not going to put up the most points. He's not going to wow you in the numbers department, but he makes big plays when it matters. With one hit, one shot, one kind of play, 1 second moment, he can change the momentum for a team, and that's what he brings to the table. And as a junior, he has a ton of leadership. He had to for that Cheshire team, and I think he deserves a spot no more than anyone else.
We're signing him up. All right, we have 3 forwards. We have 2 defensemen. That leaves our man in net. We saw him here last year. He's back again. Senior From Southington, for the Hall Southington Co-op, Zach Monty.
Zach, again, a kid the only returner that we've had this year, 8-7-1 record, a 2.25 goals against average, and a 909 save percentage. And those numbers aren't going to really stand out to you, but you have to understand, Hall Southington's first year up at Division II, they had to play a bunch of tough competition. They weren't ready to play that competition because they were planning to be a D3 team, and he had to lead the team from the back end.
It was a good winter, Joe, and I want to publicly thank you for the work you did.
No,
Kids always sending me stories like, hey, I just sent you your story. It's like, Joe, I got to sleep, man. But no, really, Joe loves it. You know, he played hockey at SHEEHAN, club hockey down at Southern. He knows the sport. We're fortunate to have him out there on the beat. I also want to give one last thank you to Pete Paguago. He's a hockey guy, all the great highlights he got
Producer
for us.
Pete.
Yes, we're going to miss producer Pete. That is our 2017-18 All-Record Journal hockey team. I'm Brian Carpenter, the sports editor of the Record Journal, alongside Joe Boyle, Record Journal hockey writer. Thank you for tuning in.